My favourite card in the emotional culture deck is optimistic. And the reason is when lockdown, when everything happened in the world in 2020, Simon Sinek put up a video on Facebook and he talked about the difference between positivity and optimism. And this is something that really stuck with me because positivity can very quickly become a avoidance of what's actually happening, of let's just be positive and everything's okay and there's always something better, and kind of seeing the silver linings, which is good. However, what he talked about was optimism is we can accept what is happening, we can acknowledge what is happening now and still believe that we will move through it, that we will move through it and there'll be something new tomorrow and there will be, you know, that golden light at the end of the tunnel. And so it's one of the words that comes up every time I think about what success means to me or how I want to feel when I'm at my best, and that's optimistic.
Curious is one of my favourite cards in the emotional culture deck because I believe if we are curious, we have growth mindset, we are more open, we ask more questions, and we are continually evolving.
So I've actually got two cards that are my favourite from the pack. The first one is Restless. I love the fact that it exists in both the black and the white pile, and it creates some really interesting conversations as people are going through it, because people quickly identify it's in both and they want to know why, and then you can have some really good conversations with them about what that means from a positive and a less desirable sense. And the other word that is really powerful is overwhelmed. I'm finding the more sessions, the more people are becoming busy in their life and the more they're taking on responsibility, the more often that word's coming out and then really hitting a nerve with people and resonating. And I'm finding that's coming out often, and then we're able to build some really cool strategies for them to deal with that sense of being overwhelmed. So,
my favourite card in the emotional culture deck would be Appreciation or Appreciated. Because I haven't come across anyone yet who doesn't want to feel appreciated in some way, shape or form.
My favourite cards in the emotional culture deck, I think courage for me is that courage to lean into that space, whatever that space is, difficult conversations, Kim Scott's radical candour, having that ability to be deeply empathetic but direct, because we faff around so often and we have so many people who are really shitty at jobs and they're actually doing a really, really poor job because A, no one's defined what their job was, no one's done a skills work with them, and no one's asked them how they want to feel. And when you engage them, all of a sudden their productivity steps up because they're leaning into that space, they want to be better, they're learning more. So yeah, I think courage.
My favourite card, so there's two. The first one is Curious. And because I am like that, I just suck in information, and I think that's a great way to be. And then the second one is because I'm curious, I become braver. So the second word is brave, and I think that's, I'm about to start my third year of my business. I am talking about emotions, but I'm feeding it in. I'm talking to execs, and I'm talking to frontline, and I'm talking to my family, and so it's made me braver. So that curious and brave.